Hey guys, Clumsy here, and welcome back to ETS2 with our ever so trusty Renault Magnum. We are currently in Derry, and we'll be taking a job going back to the UK, I think in Scotland somewhere, to Carlisle. And correct me if that's not in Scotland. Not a very knowledgeable guy, especially when it comes to the UK. But we'll be taking this route, yes. We'll be going to Derry, and then I don't think we'll be arriving in. Maybe we are going to Belfast and then Larne, then crossing over to Cairnian. Oh man, Dumfries, and then Carlisle. And I thought the pronunciation of UK cities is pretty easy. My bad. Anyway. Yes, let's take that. Let's pick a skin. What would be a nice skin to have? We have a couple of choices from the trailer packs. Sizzles, Ekeri, Cracker, NTM. Although I think I like that one. The Queen plus Nigel. I think I like that one in particular. I think it's a Krone trailer. If you look at that bottom one, there's a label there, and I think I'll go with that. I think I like that combination. Yes. That's the one. Alright. Here the engine. Good. So I'm really glad to see that you guys have been enjoying the series so far. And a lot of guys have actually been converted. Or at least kept an open mind. And did not just outright rage quit when they saw that a Renault was being driven. This Renault is actually growing on me, but I think it's time to also start moving to a new truck for a change. And it might be time as well to move out of the UK and maybe, I don't know, maybe go to Iceland. It's been a while since I've been in Iceland. If you guys any other suggestions, let me know, but I think that's the general direction that we'll be headed into. Okay, there we go. Attach that. Yeah, not too shabby. Just the perfect vertical alignment at least. So in terms of aerodynamics, we will not be hindering ourselves. Let's plan our route a bit. And we'll be doing a Q&A again in this episode. Okay, looks like... Okay, we've been there already on this road, I think. Let me just do a quick check. Yeah, we've been on that road, but on the opposite direction, I believe. Going to Derry, not coming from it. And we'll be going through this pretty interesting... intersection. There's actually nowhere going left. You have to go right. Go around this roundabout and then circle all the way to Larne. Interesting. And Cairnian and Stanrer, and then Dumfries, then Carlisle. Maybe let's pass through there just to unlock things, yes? Go to something like that, or something like that, even just circle there to discover it. That's going to be 340 miles, that's including the ferry ride. So shouldn't be too long, but we should be able to tackle a few questions from you guys. And thank you for sending out the questions again. Thank you for refilling the repository, so to speak. But yes, it seems like it's time to jump into a new truck as we leave the UK and buy a left-hand truck again. I actually don't have a strong preference on what truck should be next. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know, okay? And this is going to be a tight squeeze. How the heck are we going to fit in here? One sec, maybe I have to give it a bit of space. That's interesting. Let me see. I think I have to eat up the entire left side. Let's do that. Very tight squeeze in here. Especially when you have a trailer. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to climb the curb just to be on the safe side. Curve it up. I going to hit that side? No, I'm going to clear it. Okay, it looks good. Okay, just enough space to clear the trailer. Right, good. Let's get going. So yes, if you guys have any suggestions on what truck you want to see next, which truck you want to purchase, let me know in the comment section. Right now, I'm thinking more on going back to the Volvo FH from Eugene. I kind of miss it, and I think for trucking in Iceland, it might be a very, very apt truck, since you'll need a very powerful truck there with the kind of slopes and slippery road that we'll be driving in Iceland. So I think a Volvo FH might be nice. Something from Eugene, always quality work. And there have been updates a couple of weeks or months ago where he updated the transmission, added a few new customization options and things like that. So that might be a valid option. If you have other suggestions, let me know, and I'll think about it, okay? Oh, and by the way, yes, I remembered. Let's bring it down to 2 because someone commented that the engine sound was a bit too loud. So let's tone it down a bit to 2 and hopefully that's better. If it's still loud, let me know, okay? I think 2 might be the perfect balance there. And let's make sure that I take a nice photo somewhere where there's a bridge. Oh look, we have the same trailer. Do we have the same truck? I don't think so. That's a Renault Premium, looks like. Coming from the same company. Oh, that's a pretty nice trailer what we have, huh? And that guy just... that DHL van just squeezed in. I did not even see him at all. Did you guys see him? Till he was right in front of us? I think he was driving in our blind spot. He could have been very, very unlucky there. By the way, let's have a look at this trailer. It's a Krone trailer, right? Yeah, it's a Krone trailer. There you go. I think this is coming from Sissel's trailer pack. Always quality content from Sissel. Always quality mods. And you guys might have seen it. Recently, SES posted something on their Twitter. So they tweeted something that actually Sissel visited their office. I think Sissel was taking a vacation with his wife in the Czech Republic, and he decided to drop by the SES office and they had a picture together. That was so nice. And that was so nice for SES to actually post it on their feed. Like thanking him for his contributions in the community as well. It's awesome. This is a very nice view here. I like this spot. Very relaxing. I had a colleague who recently went to the UK. They recently got married. I think they had a honeymoon in the UK. I'm not sure where exactly they went, but for sure somewhere in England and Scotland. I'm not sure if they arrived in Ireland, if they reached that, but I've been seeing their like pictures on Facebook, and man, the sights are just truly things to behold. So nice sceneries. Love it. Something like this. Yeah, very expansive. Let me slow down a bit, just 40, just to be on the safe side. It's quite a narrow road, isn't it? Also very low speed limits. We are using miles though. We are using miles. And I think we'll have to shift down a bit. Alright. I think we can get started on the questions. So in the previous actually I tackled the questions from Barry in the most recent Trucker for Hire episode. and that's entitled My YouTube Story because he asked how I got started in YouTube. So that's I think that's quite an interesting thing. If you guys want to know more about how I started and how the journey has been, the progression, you might like that episode. So go and check it out. Trucker for Hire, entitled My YouTube Story. And yes, if you haven't heard already, Trucker for Hire series is back. That's the series where we do it a bit differently. We play ETS2, but we don't have our own truck. We have a car, as in a Volkswagen Golf. And we go to the different companies and we take quick jobs. And we have a different truck each time. Sometimes it's a bit damaged, sometimes it's a bit worn out, sometimes the windshield is cracked and stuff like that. So it's always a gamble. Roll of the dice, luck of the draw, however you call it. And it recently got back, I think last week, because I realized that one of the essential mods does work with the latest version. Just a bit of tweaks. I did a bit of tweaks, and you can also download it for yourself. Just check out the mods list. Anyway, let's get on with the questions from Sulfur this time. Sulfur asks, what are your thoughts on Bluehole suing Epic Games over replication of experiences? Photo first. Hear something? Yes, that's my keyboard getting disconnected because my keyboard is like a can be wait a minute. There you go. The keyboard is back. The keyboard is like a double type thing. It can be USB mode or can be Bluetooth mode. I bought this from Japan when I was there. Lugged it all the way home because it's one of those Bluetooth mechanical keyboards. We don't usually get wireless mechanical keyboards around, but in Japan they do have it. That's a beautiful bridge. I think I'll like that as our thumbnail. What do you guys think? I think I am all for it. Beautiful. Good. Alright, so that's actually interesting. So first question. Thoughts on Bluehole suing Epic Games over replication of experiences. I did not even know about this issue before because I don't play Fortnite. I never played Fortnite. I never played PUBG. But apparently there is some kind of dispute happening. Some kind of lawsuit, maybe, something like this. But if you're not familiar with it, apparently the makers of PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which is Bluehole, is suing Epic Games, which are the makers of Fortnite. And they're basically complaining that the games are similar, so to speak. Too similar. I'm not sure what the official claims are, but I read an article on it and it's quite interesting. And it seems like it's not the first time that Bluehole, the makers of PUBG, have been suing other companies who are like copycats. Yes. So, with regard to their lawsuit against the Epic Games for Fortnite, I'm not sure what it is about, but it's probably, from what I've read, it's based on having the same mechanics, Battle Royale version. And I think it's also because Fortnite, when it was releasing the Battle Royale version, the Battle Royale update, it was wait a minute, is this where we're headed? Yeah, I think this is. Come on, I hope it's the right one. I think we have to stay on the right side. Lights are synchronized. That's beautiful. Doesn't happen often. And let's go around here. Yes, okay, good. Oh, this is a very nice shot as well, but no, the bridge is better. The bridge is more unique. And then we exit over here. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad, I love that. Is it the right one? Okay, and then we keep to the right. Where's that chopper? So yes, apparently there is a lawsuit about it. And it's a very interesting topic. Because I think when Fortnite released their Battle Royale mode, they also kind of referenced PUBG in a way. So they said something like similar to PUBG or in line with PUBG's mode, we are releasing Battle Royale as well. Or as fans of PUBG, we are releasing our own Battle Royale version, something like that. And that's what the PUBG makers didn't like, that they got like reference to. So they were like used as advertising, so to speak, because they used the name. So they kind of hitched on the famousness, is there such a word? On the fame of PUBG when they were releasing Fortnite Battle Royale. In that way, I kind of understand it because, you know, corporate rules and all, it might not make sense sometimes, but it can have an effect if you're using the name as kind of a publicity thing. It's understandable that companies will get pretty mad when you use their name without telling them, something like that. Oh, I remember this intersection with that weird yellow thing there. Usually these types are... did I run the red light? I kind of did. That yellow paint there is usually in the form of a box, right? Because that basically means don't block the intersection. But that's a bit of a different layout there. Okay, but anyway, yes, so that's what's happening if you haven't heard about that one. But maybe I'm the last guy who hasn't heard about it because I don't really play Fortnite, and I've never played Fortnite nor PUBG. I have no intentions of doing so. I think I'm a bit too old for those kinds of games. I don't know, it doesn't appeal to me, but who knows. But yes, so PUBG makers trying to weed out the competition by filing lawsuits against them. On one end, I understand it's a corporate move, but I don't really get their claim. If they're claiming that they are the only ones who can release a Battle Royale mode, then that definitely doesn't make sense, because even the term Battle Royale, didn't even come from them. It came from a Japanese movie, I believe. That's where it came from, Battle Royale. And it's from a Japanese movie, and then it got adapted into Hollywood by, not really Hollywood, but into books. Something similar came out called Hunger Games. You might have heard about that one. But yeah, the original one is Battle Royale, a Japanese movie, I believe. And then it has the same premise, like a couple of folks being cooped up together in the same area, and they have to kill each other to survive, things like that. So they cannot even how do you say, take ownership of that concept because it didn't come from them. Man, this view is magnificent. Are you guys seeing this? Are you guys seeing this? That is such a beautiful view. Phew. I think I remember taking a photo here the last time we went through here. I think that might be a Trucker for Hire episode. Goodness, so good. I think I'll have to move that side. No, I can stay here. It's a bit weird, the roundabouts. Very strange. And thank you, Kirill, for those floating icons. That will be released to the public soon, guys. I'll let you know when it is. Those subtle floating icons that they're seeing. He might be wondering where they came from. Good. Alright. So yes, what are my thoughts about it? I think it's unfair from a logical point of view. Why would you sue someone who has the same style of game as you do when you don't really own any copyright to that genre, so to speak? It's like if I try extrapolate that, if we follow the same pattern, that's like I don't know, Call of Duty suing Battlefield or the other way around because they have the same first person genre, right? But it's basically competition. So how can you sue someone for just having the same kind of game? I don't know. And the game mechanics of engine died, but that's just in time because we're almost there. Let's just roll there. Oh, made it. Nailed it. Okay. Going to Cairnian. Hope that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, they're not even the same kind of gameplay I've read. Like as I mentioned, I've never played either, so I don't have a clue how the exact gameplay is. But apparently PUBG, Fortnite, very different mechanics, because in Fortnite you kind of you can build. Wait a minute. You have to go around, looks like. Go around, go exit there, take the roundabout, turn right, and then go. Yeah, let's follow this road. There we go. Discovered. Maybe let's stay on the left side, hey? Yes. So yes, in Fortnite you build stuff as well in addition to shooting other people. So, bit of a Minecraft feel there. Like a Minecraft, how do they call it? UHD, Ultimate Hardcore Mode or something like that. Oh, rip science. I hate these kinds of roundabouts, super small. Turn on our lights. And turn right here. Let me try and look at the right direction first. There is a car. Hope he stops. Thank you. There we go. There's the right gear. So yes, they're very different games from my point of view. It's just that PUBG, I think, is trying to protect their business, and so it's like anything in the corporate world. These might be games, but at the end of the day, they are corporations. They are companies. They have their own law. How do you say? Law teams, lawyers. And if they find a loophole or a possible argument in there, they can leverage that to get rid of the competition. I don't like it, but I understand it. I don't like it, but I understand it. But it's not ethical on my end, from my point of view, but it is legal, and it is a valid move. But yeah, I don't think fans will like that so much. In my opinion, they might win the lawsuit or whatever. They might have a valid claim or something. Man, this place is amazing. Look how this looks. So they might have a valid claim or something like that. Let's slow down, please. Thank you. Stanraer. Love that bridge. Very steep though. So they might have a valid claim. I doubt it though, but even if they do, I don't think the gamers, like the end users, will like that. I think they will push away customers when they do that, because that's usually how consumers think of things. I've been reading some books about behavioral economics and things like that, and it's been observed. It's been an observation that things can get like people can quote unquote punish companies. End users can punish companies by boycotting them or avoiding their products if they deem like the company did not do something that was fair. And by fair, it doesn't mean illegal or anything. It's just mainly moral and ethical point of view from the normal human being's point of view. Not talking about specific laws or rules or whatnot, but if it seems like a company cheated their customers or they cheated some other companies, then people can retaliate by avoiding their products. From my point of view, that's what can happen to PUBG, especially if they try and take down the top dog right now, which is Fortnite, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Fortnite is pretty much the most famous battle royale type of game right now. Maybe famous game period right now, and I think it trumps PUBG, right? So it seems like from another person's point of view, it might seem like a sore loser kind of thing. Yeah, because they're being threatened, they're not at the top anymore. PUBG has been taken down the throne by Fortnite, so they try to sue Fortnite so they get rid of the competition. That's probably not how it is. Maybe in some way, but maybe that's not the main goal. For sure, that's not the argument that the PUBG side is making. Otherwise, it wouldn't win at all. So they probably have a legal reasoning behind it. But yeah, at the end of the day, how it looks from the layman's point of view, it doesn't look good for them. From my point of view, at least, from an absolute outsider, it doesn't look good for them. So if I would play something, I would choose Fortnite most probably, because one, it's free, and two, I kind of don't like the way PUBG is handling this. I don't like that they're suing competitors. For me, if you're a good game, if you're the best game there is, then people would flock towards you. There is no blatant copyright. It's not a 1:1 game. You know, if for example Fortnite was exactly like PUBG but a free version, then I would understand why they are suing them. But right now, they seem like very different games, just the same concept. Like, how would you say, like, yeah, COD versus Battlefield 1. You would never think one would sue the other because of copyright issues, because they're basically the same first-person shooters, like same first-person types, but very different implementation, right? So they're competitors, fair competitors, and that's how I see PUBG and Fortnite. So I would choose Fortnite, even if the art style I'm leaning towards PUBG more. But yeah, because of that, I kind of puts me off PUBG because of that thing that I've heard. But thank you, Sulfur, for letting me know about that. I was absolutely clueless until you asked it. But yeah, those are my thoughts. How about you guys? Are you thinking of something similar along those lines? Do you have a completely conflicting or opposite point of view? Let me know in the comment section, and maybe I don't have the full story. Maybe there is something more about it. I'd be happy to know. Enlighten me. Man, this view, I'm not sure about you guys, but I am really enjoying this drive here. So scenic, so beautiful, and we have the perfect weather to enjoy this one. I hope it keeps that way. By the way, let's have a look. How far away are we? 134 miles, yeah, no problem. We can continue on our questions. We can handle a few more, I think. Alright, thanks, Sulfur. He has another question, and it goes like this. Have you ever dozed off when playing ETS2 or ATS? Oh, yes, definitely. Yes, a lot of times. So we all know ETS2 and ATS are super relaxing games, And at some point, because they're super relaxing, they tend to relax you a bit too much sometimes and make you super sleepy. I can't remember if I actually got into virtual accidents because I was dozing off, but it was very close, if it didn't actually happen. But yes, it definitely has happened to me already. That's why I resorted to listening to music or podcasts when I drive offline. When I'm not recording and I'm just driving, I usually listen to podcasts because in that way, my mind is kept occupied and I don't get sleepy. Yeah, sometimes it's too relaxing for its own sake. Yeah, and I know some of the people watching these videos of mine, you also get a little bit too sleepy at points. But that's no problem. I take that as a compliment because that means you are getting relaxed. And chill gaming is what the channel is all about, right? Relaxing, chilling. So that's perfect. Perfectly fine with that. Alright. His next question is, what is your favorite game? Yeah, I've been asked this a couple of times. And unfortunately, I don't have a single answer. Something I realized recently as well is that, well, it's kind of obvious, but bro, what the heck kind of overtaking is that? Okay, at least we avoided a disaster. So I realized, and you might have known this all along, it's a very obvious thing, but I realized that people change. Yeah? People change, and so do our tastes. I remember I loved some games that I played a couple of years back, but I wouldn't think of playing them anymore now. So it's like I'm done with that phase. And that's why I find it so difficult to answer what is your favorite game. Because it might have been my favorite game before, and there are so many different games out there, it's hard to just pick one, right? So I have a couple of notable ones, some things that definitely made an impact on me, some things that I definitely enjoyed, but I don't think I'll play them anytime soon due to various reasons. And I think I shared this a bit before, but I'm really a fan of RPG games. I had a phase where I was playing JRPGs like Final Fantasy, things like that, especially when I was on console still. So I played a lot of RPGs. RPGs were my favorite before, when I was a kid and when I had a lot of time. Why am I not unlocking that city? Let's go, Dumfries. Please unlock. Or have I unlocked it all the way? Maybe I did unlock it already, they just didn't notice, huh? My bad. Oh, there we go. Okay. That was a good choice, alright. And do we need some fuel? Yes, it's less than half now, so let's refuel. Anyway, here. Is that good? Yeah, I think this is the right direction. Love that sign. Okay, refuel. So I played the JRPGs before, Final Fantasy series, 7, 8, 9 I skipped. 10 was my favorite one. 10 was, I think, the one I maxed out the most. I think that's in PS2 already. FF10, the one with Tidus. Open the engine. We're good to go. How much did it cost us? £498. Wow. Euros rather. Super expensive. Right, let's get back to it. Super low revs. There we go, third gear. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, good. Alright. So yes, after the JRPGs, I also got into RPGs on PC, but mainly the BioWare RPGs. I love BioWare, one of my favorite companies. With Dragon Age Origins, I believe I finished all of that. I maxed it out, and I think I played that in PS2 as well. Finished. I got all the achievements. I actually got the, what they call it, platinum trophy. You know, that trophy that you get when you get all the other trophies. So I actually maxed it out. So I played the game like, I don't know, 3-4 times, repeated it with different characters, and got all the possible endings or whatnot. I forgot about it already, but yeah, one of my most favorite games of all time. Although yeah, if I think about it now, I probably will not play it anymore. Not because it's a bad game or anything, but just because I don't have time anymore. Maybe if I had all the time in the world, I would. But I'm happy enough with the memory. Sometimes when you go back to something you really love, absolutely love, like from a very long time ago, when you try it again, it becomes a disappointment because your tastes might have changed, your standards might have gotten higher, especially with games, right? Before it might have been state-of-the-art visuals, but when you go back to it like 10 years from now, it will feel like, wow, this looks so old, or things like that. In some cases it doesn't, but in some cases it does. So it's a bit tricky. So for me, I'd rather keep it in my memory, the best memories for that game. Keep it in the highest regard. Yeah, so Dragon Age series, Mass Effect series, I love that game. Mass Effect, it's amazing. I absolutely hated the ending though, but the entire game itself was so good. Only thing is I kind of skipped through the latest Mass Effect. Was it Andromeda? I hear that it didn't get such good reviews, but I still wanted to play it nonetheless. But yeah, it's the same thing. As much as I would love to play Mass Effect now, I don't think I would have the time to play through all those hours. Yeah, I might as well be recording and streaming and whatnot. Maybe I could stream it. Might be too much of a time commitment for you and me though. I don't know. But you guys let me know. If you would like to see some kind of gameplay like that on the channel or on stream, let me know in the comments. Maybe we can accommodate it. I've never thought about it though, so I skipped on that. So the RPGs, the strategy games, I also enjoyed. First person, I also enjoyed, especially before Counter-Strike. I think I mentioned this already before. Like I was a hardcore Counter-Strike player before. In the Philippines, we used to have all these internet cafes all over the place, and people would just go in, play LAN parties. So we don't play with our own PCs, we just rented our PC out and played with the entire shop. There even came a point that they actually have super long LAN cables where they connect the different shops together. Like the LAN cables would be crossing the streets. So you would be seeing like LAN parties with, I don't know, 100 plus or more PCs connected, because the different computer shops are connected via a long LAN cable or something like that. So it works, and nice signs there. Even came across made friends, got into a clan. I think we called it a clan before, and went on tours, quote unquote tours, to go to different computer shops and join tournaments and stuff like that. Didn't really win tournaments so much. I think we rarely did. I think we won once, yeah, but I'm not that hardcore, but we did at least win once. So yes, I was very much into Counter-Strike before. My favorite weapon was the AK-47. And I think it kind of fits my personality, because the AK-47 requires a lot of discipline and self-control. You rarely hit things if you just hit the trigger. You just click the trigger. You have to really control yourself and do it in release 2 or 3 bullets at a time. and you have to control yourself. You cannot just go gung-ho. But it was so powerful if you manage to control it. And I really like that aspect. I really like that mechanic. I was not so accurate to be a viable sniper. Like, I know how to use the sniper rifles. I can hold my own, but you wouldn't really tag me as the sniper, things like that. I was more of like the all-around kind of guy. But yeah, my absolute favorite was the AK-47. And then the next one was the carbine. M4A1 carbine with the silencer. Or maybe without the silencer. Either way, I kind of am confused. They kind of are on the same books as in terms of my taste. But yeah, I can still remember those times, and I definitely enjoyed those times. Nowadays, yeah, I'm still enjoying them, but not anymore on a competitive level. More for leisure, because my reflexes aren't the way they are. Not too keen on that anymore, and I'm out of practice. And with games like that, you get pretty rusty pretty quickly. So you have to keep on practicing, and that's just too much a time-consuming activity from my case. Edinburgh. We're not going there, are we? I don't think so. So let's move to the center. Carlisle is where we're going, exactly. There we go. Loving these UK type road layouts where the road paint, the road markings, the frequency changes when the lane is dropping off. Gives you plenty of time to adjust and go out of the lane. Good. Right, but yes, those are some of my favorite games. And then ETS2 and ATS, of course, but they are very recent ones. I only got exposed to them like 2 years ago when ATS released. Aside from that, what else do I like? So I'm kind of a mostly all-around kind of guy. I kind of like most of the genres, except horror. I don't like horror, because as I mentioned before, I get pretty paranoid about it. I'm a scaredy cat, so no horror. First person is fine, strategy is fine, turn-based strategy is fine, simulation is fine as well, RPGs are fine, but yeah, time is not so much. Time is very much a commodity nowadays, so I don't get to play RPGs so often anymore. Slow down. Oh, by the way, I just remembered it. Man, I should have tried it. Maybe next time. And maybe you guys can let me know if you have comments on it. I read a post on the SS forums. It's a very interesting post. I'll try to share it when I remember. It's about something scientific. So one guy, I forgot your name, sorry. One guy actually did some research on the physics of the game. He had a lot of experiments. He had a lot of custom developments to test the physics. And he came to the conclusion that the trailer stability is a bit too unrealistic. And I think it was a very long thread, and it's still ongoing. But I think the consensus is that to keep the most realistic settings, I think the trailer stability has to be set to -2.5. Because if you go to the gameplay settings, there is a slider for trailer stability, and the default is 2? But I actually turned the slider all the way to the left, so the trailer stability is 0. But this study, I would call it a study, because it's really scientific, and I love the process that comes through there. The finding is that 0 is still a bit too stable, but -2.5 I think is the perfect balance for the realistic physics. As a result, though, what happens is when you come across some of the on-ramps, the off-ramps rather, when you do a turn at a faster than normal speed, you can really feel your trailer trying to toss away from you, get away from you. So maybe next episode we can try that, and I want to implement that on all my profiles actually. G_trailer_stability -2.5 in the console or in the config files in the game. Check it out, let me know what you think. Maybe you can try for yourself and let me know how it works for you. But I think that is a very nice setting, so we don't just speed off anywhere and still maintain a perfectly stable trailer. In that way we're more cautious, and we're more cautious of our speed, we're more cautious of our turning angles and stuff like that. I think it's win-win. After all, we want realism, and if that offers the perfect balance of realism, I'm happy to do that. -2.5. So yes, Sulfur had a couple of questions. No, he had one more question. What makes you constantly come back to ETS2 or ATS? It's just the super chill aspect. It's never ending. There's always something new as well, thanks to the modding community and the constant updates from SES. I guess if there are no new mods or no updates from SES, I might have stopped playing already, and that's the bitter truth. But yeah, because the community is so active, there's always something new to try. A new truck, a new map, a new finding, a new study. Even if SES is not the fastest when it comes to releasing content, it still is a very active community, and there's always something new that's happening. So it's a very rewarding experience and very exciting community, very exciting game because of all these additions, all these mods. And that's why I like scouring the SES forums a lot to check on new stuff. And that's how I found the trailer stability thing as well. Let's see on that side. Yeah, that should be okay. I think. Let's even it out. Yeah, that should be okay. Should be good. There we go. Easy peasy. Textbook parking. Love it. Nice. So yes, definitely the community is at the top of my list of reasons why I keep coming back to ETS2 and ATS. Without the community, I think it would be safe to say it would be a dead game. That's also why I play more ETS2 than ATS, because the community is bigger and lots more things are happening. I love it when there are updates, and I'm sure you guys do too as well. Right? But that is going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Let me know what you think as always. I'm looking forward to your comments. Thank you for watching, guys, and please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button if you did enjoy this episode, and if you want to see more, let me know. Share with your friends, and if you want to support the channel and if you want to support what I do and want to see more videos, please check out my Patreon page. The link is in the video description. Several options available, several rewards available. Have a look, let me know, and looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Clumsy trucking, everyone. And catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. I can't quit. Let's try that again. There we go. Bye-bye.